Lucky for me, I had a lot of friends growing up. Just two of them were only children. If you had asked any of the others, they would have said their parents' favorite child was definitely one of their siblings. I was the only one who didn't feel that way. I knew I was my mother's favorite, and it wasn't just because my older brother was adopted. He was also sort of a screw-up. Sam had been arrested a bunch of times, starting when he was 12. It was usually for stealing, sometimes for drug possession. I had only seen him 3 times from the age of 8 until I was 13, and that was because Mom's ex-husband got him sent away. Sam stole some of our stepfather's jewelry and his car, and when he was confronted about it, Sam beat the guy up pretty bad. The last time I saw my brother was shortly after my 15th birthday. I was playing basketball at the local park. He rode by in a car with a few of his friends. The car pulled over and Sam got out to check on me. I told him I liked his new kicks. I had never seen those before. He gave me $50 and promised he would take me shoe shopping soon. That felt weird. Sam had never given me money before, and I had never known him to even have money to give, but I sure wasn't turning it down. And all of my friends thought the car he was riding in was so cool. So I decided to play into the proud little brother role. The driver aggressively shouted for Sam to hurry up. My brother ruffled my hair, called me a bum, then ran back over and jumped in. The car sped off. I went back to playing with my friends. The next day was really hot. One of my neighbor's pool parties was canceled because of an equipment malfunction at the venue, so I stayed in the house most of the day playing video games. Later that night, Mom left me money to order takeout before she went to work, but when I called the restaurant, the wait for delivery was 2 hours. Even though I wasn't supposed to leave the house, the bike ride was only about 10 minutes and I didn't want to wait. I figured I could go get my dinner and be back home before my mom got to her job and called to check on me. And I was right. But I experienced something on the ride home that I'll never forget. There was a sports complex near my house. Whenever I passed by, I usually enjoyed riding my bike down the shallow steps. Being in a rush, I decided against it on my way to the restaurant, but I couldn't resist on my way back. There was a covered landing at the bottom of the staircase. That's where the dumpsters were stored at the end of the night. And due to the covering blocking the light, that area was always dark. I had heard many stories about people going over there to use drugs, though I didn't expect any problems. I just wanted to quickly pedal through. I was surprised to only see one person. They were lying on the ground next to the dumpsters and appeared to be asleep, but I didn't get a good look at them. Just a quick glance as I rode past. Then I hurried and got home before Mom's call. A short while later, I was looking through the mail that had came that day. And even though Sam hadn't lived there in years, he still had junk mail that came in his name. I was thumbing through his new sports magazine. When I got to a certain page, a graphic vision suddenly exploded in my head. I was supposed to be getting ready for bed, but that vision led me somewhere else. I jumped back on my bike and pedaled as fast as I could back over to the sports complex. I rode my bike down the steps and stopped when I got to the dumpsters. To my disappointment, there was no one down there. I had been so worried about rushing home earlier that day, I hadn't processed what the person lying by the dumpsters was wearing. It was the same pair of athletic shoes I saw in the magazine, and the same pair Sam was wearing the day before. It was no surprise he never showed up to take me shopping. He wasn't reliable. But the thoughts in the back of my mind kept telling me that was him lying on the ground at the complex. I wanted to talk to Mom about it, but I was afraid to confess to riding to the store after she left that night, so I only told a few of my friends. A few weeks later, we got a letter in the mail. It was addressed to Mom and I both. She was at work, so I opened it. It appeared to be from Sam, and it was super short. It just read that he felt his luck was finally turning around. He was taking a good paying job up in Canada, and he'd call as soon as he got himself settled in his new place. That call never came. I don't know if Sam really left the country, but no one I asked in the time following had seen him. I stopped asking around after about a year. Mom never really talked about him much again, but every time I wore his old baseball mitt, she had that same look. She'll never admit it, but Mom still misses Sam to this day, and so do I.